Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Zagar. I'm going to keep talking about body jumping. I'm going to tell you one of the questions that I get asked very frequently is how do I know what voices I'm actually listening to? So when I'm in someone and I see things, hear things, get phrases, etc., how do I know what discernment to use? How do I know what is for the client? How would I know what is coming from me? How would I know what is coming from something either apart from me, different from me, or even greater than me? Now, I genuinely do believe, I'd like to say that I know that I'm talking to something greater than me. Greater than me is the most simplistic way to say this. I hesitate to give names. I don't have clear names. I think that some people might call it God. Some people might call it Source. I don't know what to call it. Source is very comfortable for me, but it's more so like, what does it feel like? And what it feels like is divine truth, absolute truth, high truth, higher intelligence. Now, is that the only thing that I'm talking to, or is that what I'm hearing all the time? No. So it seems to be that when I'm in someone, I enter into them energetically in a certain way. Now, how I enter and where I enter to is different from person to person. The experience does shift and evolve the more that I do it. And ultimately what I'm learning is that my range and skill set is more diverse than I maybe originally thought that it was. There are times when I'm in and I hear things, I say things, I hear a question to be asked, and I know that it comes from me. There is this inner curiosity that belongs to me that is in there doing the work. Ultimately, I'm the primary thing that is in doing the work. But occasionally there is this extra feeling of power, presence, support. It does tend to feel like it comes from behind me in a certain way. It's almost like it fortifies me. And there are things that can be done in partnership with this thing that I don't have the ability to do on my own. So a small example of this, and this is going to sound like kind of all over the map and kind of what? But the more that I talk about it, the more that the stories maybe will make sense. There was a time that I was in someone and what needed to be done for the person felt like it was going to be challenging, heavy. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. It didn't feel like I was up against necessarily something evil or dark or bad. It was more so that I wasn't strong enough to have the full effect that this person needed. Now, there was a realization of me in there of, I don't know if I am strong enough for this. I don't know if I can give everything that this person needs. They may need more than I have to offer. But I did still feel this martyring, 3/6 profile, 3/6 projector. I did still feel a martyring, for a lack of a better term, genuinely for a lack of a better term, of I'm still willing to try. I'm still willing to try. While I was in the person, I still had the energetic willingness to completely give my all to whatever it was that they needed. And there was a sadness because in that willingness to give my all, I didn't know what it would take from me or what it would deplete from me. And yet I still went to do it. And the motion of going to do it was like putting hands on a concrete wall and then just going to push. And as I went to push, it was like the knowing that it would totally drain me. And as I stuck my hands on, it actually wasn't my power anymore. It wasn't using my power. It tapped the greater source. And it didn't use me at all. Which was kind of an emotional experience because it felt like in the willingness to give everything that I had, I didn't have to, but I wouldn't have known that without the willingness to offer it. And that was one of the most significant times that I felt the support of something greater than me coming to help. Now what's wild is when it gives the extra push, the phrase is, "Are you here to work?" Now I've only heard that once, and I only heard that one time, but it felt like being invited into partnership with something greater than me. Now in a way I was like, what is this? Like, you know, am I crazy? Am I the only one talking to this? Am I talking to myself? How can I actually fully continue to trust this information, this direction that I'm going in? And when people started to ask me, how do you know that this voice is a good voice? How do you know that it's worth listening to? Because human design teaches all of us, like, we are our own authority. We have our own authority. I believe that we all have a specific, unique guidance that is available to each of us, a higher internal guidance available for all of us. But I don't confuse my higher intelligence with a general greater higher intelligence, because I believe that I'm an aspect of a totality. Even if we talk about the crystal shatterings and the Big Bang with human design, it was a prime crystal shattering into fragments of crystals that we are. We have these crystals of consciousness. They are aspects of a whole, pieces of a totality. And if we wanted to look at the whole as being source, we're an aspect of that, and we can communicate with it, perhaps. I believe that I do. I think that when people invite me to guide them and read them, yeah, human design gave me access to read people at a different mechanical energetic level, but I don't think that I was unable to do that without human design. That's the best part. I think I've been doing this my whole life. I just didn't know, perhaps, how to trust it, what to call it, how to talk about it. I feel very fortunate that I have my entire human design career and client base, followers, subscribers, whatever, in order to talk to about this. Like, I feel very, I feel blessed. I feel kind of blessed that I got people to talk to. There's been a consistent answer that has come up when people say, like, how do you know what you're talking to? How can you trust the voice? And I can say that this voice, this source, this absolute truth that comes in, when it comes in to share information with me about people or share a direction for healing or an understanding about why they're feeling what they're feeling, you know, the joke for me is that I'm petty. It's not. I dropped out of social work in my 3rd year because I didn't see myself as a compassionate person. I thought, you got a problem, go figure it out. Your life. And honestly, very appropriate for my innocence. You got a problem, it's your life. You go figure it out. Not my life, not my business. Unless you bring it to my life and make it my business. This is literally my business. So what do I hear? I hear something that is compassionate when I'm not. I hear something that is graceful when I'm not. I hear something that is kind and considerate and has so many well-formed perspectives when I don't. It is so wild that this information comes through me, but it's also so discernibly not me sometimes. My voice is supportive and humorous and egoic, and like, you really can see my mechanics shine through me. I do believe that, like, I use my projector aura to do this. I use my 3rd line trial and error perspective. I use my innocence motivation. I use my taste cognition. I think that I use all of my mechanics to do what I do in the way that I do it. And I am used to hearing a lot of my voices. And in particular, with the voices, human design helped me understand what my voices were. I got really good at defining my voices. A lot of my clients have heard me talk about the King Arthur and the Round Table way of organizing the centers around a table for hierarchy. I'm a splenic authority, which would make my spleen my queen or my King Arthur, and it's connected to my ego, which would turn my ego into the, like, advisor to the throne, you know, or my authority bestie, you know, my Lancelot to my King Arthur. I know what my spleen sounds like, and most of the time it's like, no, no, no. Like, my spleen's job is to be like, that's not healthy. Oh no, that could get us sick. Like, it keeps me safe, but my spleen doesn't work for other people. The thing that is my highest intelligence for my authority, it's very personal to me. I think it's very important for us to look at our undefined centers or open centers, and I would even say that the defined centers can have some pretty terrible narratives in them. But let's in particular look at the undefined centers. I have 7 undefined centers. If I listen to my undefined head, it might tell me that I'm dumb, I don't know the answer, I'm stupid, I'm uninspiring. If I listen to my ajna, I don't understand, I'm bad at conceptualizing, nobody believes me, my opinions are stupid. Like, these all tend to be negative thoughts. They're critical, they're lack, they're, you know, poor me, whiny, victimy, I'm not enough, I'm inferior, I'm insecure, That's a lot of the not self stuff. And as long as I was still hearing a lot of the not self stuff, I wasn't hearing a lot of higher truth. I wasn't hearing my higher truth, and I certainly wasn't really hearing other people's. Getting to a place of deconditioning and really fucking doubling down on my authority, like, I'm in a very different place right now. I've made some big hard changes in the last few months, which is maybe evident in how my content has shifted, or my Instagram grid has shifted, or you've seen my relationships change, or my background change, etc. There are changes happening, and they feel amazing. They really feel amazing. I feel in awe of the ways in which my life is transforming. And I'm beyond awe in the things that I'm able to communicate with people now. And again, I still can't really say, like, what is this? What am I doing? I can't say I absolutely talk to God, you know, but like, I talk to something that is divine and nice. Like, I like even just talking to it on my own regularly now, because it's kind of like, this is gonna sound really sad, but it's kind of like the friend I never had. I'm not used to having a friend that is so loving and gracious and generous and comforting and understanding. And when I get information about people, it never comes with like, this is happening because they messed up, or they're bad, or they, you know, like, there is no judgment. There is no shame. The judgment comes from the people. The people are so judgy about themselves. People are mean to themselves. People are very mean to themselves. I spend a lot of time loving up on people when I'm in them, and in the most unsexual way. It is very just like, it's very pure, it's very innocent, it feels really good to care. It feels very good to care differently. I haven't cared a lot throughout my life, and that sucked. It made life really boring. How do I know what voice to listen to? It means well. It wants the best. It is loving, it is supportive, it is nurturing. It is not shaming, it is not criticizing, it is not blaming, and it does validate. I've had very different messages to give to people. Sometimes it's very physical, sometimes very energetic, sometimes it's helping them validate a memory, sometimes it's affirming the new name they were given in previous ceremonies. Like, I don't know who's meant to talk to me in the future. But if you do, we're going to be having some source chats.